Hello everyone, changes to Medgels. This was posted yesterday by DexCRG on Spectrum. Link to this is in my first pinned comment below. Amount of Medgel contained within a single canister increased from 100 to 200. The cost of a single canister remains at 100,000 alpha UEC. Respawning still consumes 100 Medgel, however, due to the canister change, this is now the equivalent of 50,000 alpha UEC. This feels like the good old first introduce something, make it very expensive, and then later reduce the price to half to say, hey, we are listening to you. I get it, some people were abusing medbeds. They parked their ship with a medbed close by and just came back in like half a minute each time they were killed to gank and annoy other players. However, this was not exactly the majority of players. I think there are other ways to deal with this instead of making it very expensive and letting us do all this manual labor. I'm not opposed to take care of my ship. I'm fine with making sure my ship is repaired, has fuel and ammunition. But I'm not fine with taking care of every single thing, especially with CRG's terrible UI, inventory and item interaction system. I've never seen such a bad system in hundreds of games I've played. I am totally fine with taking care of my vehicles in other games because other games have a decent UI, inventory and item interaction. Star Citizen evolves more and more into my little summer spaceship and it will get worse.
Filter, that is also a new item that is added as the consumable for the life support generator. I can tell you it's already quite a lot that you have to manage and learn. So it will be fun. It will be fun. It will be fun. It will be fun.
I think a much better way to fix medbed abuse would be, for example, add a timer if medbed was used recently. First use no timer, second use within 5 minutes, add a 5-minute timer. If medbed was not used in 5 minutes, timer goes back to 0. This wouldn't affect most players because usually you don't die within 5 minutes again. Or how about resurrection sickness? If a medbed is used, gives the player some penalties for 5 minutes. Like, for example, slower move speed, weaker aim, taking more damage, etc. After 5 minutes, no more penalties. Let's continue. Healing tiered injuries is now different Medgel cost rather than a flat amount for any and all injuries. Yeah, before this change, every injury cost you half a Medgel. Tier 3 costs now 5 Medgel, Tier 2 10 Medgel, and Tier 1 20 Medgel. I think that's a good change. NCRG increased capacity of medbeds. Tier 3 medbeds can now store 200 Medgel, this means 1 canister, and you are getting 2 respawns. Tier 2 medbeds can now store 2 canisters, you get 4 respawns. Tier 1 medbeds can now store 3 canisters, you are getting 6 respawns. Those changes to medbeds, Medgels, do not prevent medbed abuse. A timer or resurrection sickness would fix medbed abuse. People who play a lot, people who have millions of alpha UC lying around, can still basically respawn endlessly with no waiting. They can store Medgels into their ship's local inventory, and if their ship gets destroyed, if they lose the Medgels, they don't care because they have dozens of millions lying around. So once again, CRG gave us a terrible solution for a problem they introduced themselves. A solution that does not prevent medbed abuse if someone plays a lot and has a lot of money. Respawn distance of Tier 1 medbeds is increased from 150 million meters to 750 billion meters, enough to cover most star systems. I guess CRG is not too familiar with the metric system. The metric system has prefixes like kilo, mega, giga, tera. This would make it a lot easier to read those numbers. Overall, Medgel is just another thing added to the game that doesn't solve any issue. Especially with CRG's terrible UI, item interaction and inventory system, this change just makes gameplay a lot more tiresome, a lot more tedious, more time sinks. All of this without fixing medbed abuse. Thanks for watching and see you next time. Bye. Auf Wiedersehen.
Chris is an amazing young man. He wears dresses occasionally, yes, but don't we all have skeletons in the closet? It's not something to judge the man for, it's something to celebrate. And we celebrate Chris around here on the set, whether he's in his can outfit or not. We love him. We care about him. and we ask him to get some help. That's all.
Hey, you're still here. You might want to join me on Twitter or on Blue Sky.